Welcome, welcome everyone to Coach Connect Hub. I'm Sam Rafis here for session 6. Can you believe it, Geoffrey? We're at session 6 of how to launch and grow your business beyond $1 million a year. And this session, I love this one. And I've been in your sessions many times, and this is one of my favorites. Grow your A team. It's about the A team anyway. Take it away, Geoffrey, and thank you so much for being here.
All right. Well, thank you again for this platform. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our final week in the 6-part series of Entrepreneurial University Onlineable. Just one second. So just to recap, in the last 5 weeks, we've discussed how to maximize your probability of achieving entrepreneurial success by pursuing ideas fueled by your passions, how to laser focus on uniquely solving problems for customers that your competitors either ignore or underserve, how to enhance the probability of success by forming unconventional strategic alliances with much larger companies, how to provide world-class customer service to transform customers into brand evangelists, and how to access capital by understanding what motivates others to invest in your vision. So this week, we're going to discuss how to surround yourself with an A team of co-founders, executive leaders, managers, staff, advisors, and board directors to give yourself the highest probability of executing on your business vision. So when most of us launch a startup business, we start off as solo proprietors with no employees. Hopefully, we've written a business plan, so we know how much cash we need to survive until monthly business revenues exceed monthly business expenses, but probably not. Hopefully, we've saved enough money to pay ourselves and cover our cumulative losses until the business reaches its break-even point, but probably not. Hopefully, we've educated ourselves about all the tasks we're going to have to master until we can afford to hire employees, like marketing and selling our products or services, servicing our customers, accounting for the sales we make to customers, raising capital, producing and distributing our products or services to customers, running the internal operations of our business, managing the technology that supports our business, purchasing products and services for our business, and contracting with customers and strategic alliance partners. But probably not. Fortunately, there are a myriad of resources to support entrepreneurs in the early stages of development that ease the burden of not having staff. Entrepreneurs can network with fellow entrepreneurs and professionals by joining their local chamber of commerce, CEO mentoring groups like Vistage, or private business clubs, and can get support services and counsel from organizations like the Service Corps of Retired Executives or a local college's Small Business Development Center. And if these organizations can't help you, they'll be able to refer you to organizations who can help. What you'll want to do is lean on these external support organizations until you have sufficient revenue to begin hiring employees. But before you start hiring employees, you'll want to plan for growth by identifying who you'll need to hire and when, what you'll need to pay whomever you hire, and then tie the anticipated payroll expense to a company revenue generation goal. There's a concept created by the CEO of Rakuten called the Rule of 3 and 10 that explains the stages of change that you should anticipate your company will go through as it grows from launch through exponential growth to exit. At each of these employee growth points, you should anticipate that everything in your company is going to break and will need to be changed. As scary as the Rule of 3 and 10 sounds, if you plan for these changes in advance, you'll be prepared to navigate the changes associated with positively growing your business. Now, the only thing you'll need to do is adopt the mindset that will allow you to assemble the A team that gives you the highest probability of achieving whatever vision you have for your business. So for the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to guide you, one of you, through a discussion so you understand why it's critically important for your entrepreneurial success to surround yourself with an A team. Please raise your hand digitally if you're willing to be a volunteer, but you have to be knowledgeable about professional basketball. We've got a small group so far, so please do not be bashful. All right. Maybe I'll pick someone. Ellen, would you like to participate?
I know absolutely nothing about basketball.
Okay, all right. Dr. Samira, would you like to participate?
I'm in the same ball game.
What? I'm sorry, say that again?
Sorry, I don't know much about basketball either.
Okay, all right. Well, Bill, I think it's up to you. Hopefully you know something about basketball. Can you participate, Bill? No, Bill.
Yeah, now I finally couldn't get to
Okay.
the dang button. Honestly, I don't follow basketball. I mean, I'm like Dr. Samir. Not much help to you.
Okay, all right. Sam, what about you?
Jeffrey, I'll try my best. How's that?
Okay, sounds good. Are you familiar with professional basketball?
Somewhat, yes.
Somewhat. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
sounds good. All right, here we go. All right, Sam, for this hypothetical exercise, I need you to assume you're the general manager of an NBA team, right?
Yes.
You've been in your job for 7 years, and
Okay.
your team's record over the course of your tenure as a GM has been mediocre at best.
Yeah.
The team has been purchased by a new owner, and
Okay.
the owner has decided to release all the team's starting players and rebuild from scratch.
Gotcha.
So you've been given the opportunity to recruit a new starting 5-player lineup with the caveat that you'll be fired at the end of the season if the team you've assembled doesn't win the NBA championship. So you've been given 15 points to spend to recruit your starting 5 players. Now, looking at the players on the screen here, you're going to need to pick a player from each line. So tell us what 5 players you choose and why, starting from the row of 5-point players and working your way down to the row of 1-point players.
Okay, I'm going to pick Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan's in my era, and I did watch him a little bit with the Chicago Bulls. So I'll pick
Okay.
number 5, or for the 5-point. For
Okay.
4 points, I think I would have to go with Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Again, my limited bit of watching some basketball, I just thought he was a good player. I know they're
Okay.
all good players, but just
Right.
watching.
Okay.
For the 3-point, ooh, that's a tough one. You know what? I'm going to go with Larry Bird.
Okay.
He was a really good 3-pointer, wasn't he?
Yes.
Number 2, let's see. Ooh. I don't really like any on number 2, so I'll just have to, as far as knowing who they play. So let's go with Anthony.
Okay. Carmelo Anthony. All right. And 1 point.
And the 1-pointer's gotta be, I think I knew Stockton. That
Okay.
seems-
John Stockton.
Yeah,
All right.
seems like wasn't he
So-
Canadian? I think he was a Canadian.
I'm not sure. He might be.
Anyway,
all right.
my
So
semi-knowledge.
when you pick your 5 players, were they also your 5 favorite players? And if not, why didn't you pick your 5 favorite players?
No, they weren't all my favorites. And I didn't because it was partly thinking, how could they work together? And it was more important to have the winning team than if I liked them so much.
Hey, you're thinking like a business person, Sam.
I'm trying, Jeffrey.
So I would ask if you picked 1 center, 2 forwards, and 2 guards, and if not, why not? But let me see. You picked Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan was a guard.
He's a guard.
You picked
Thomas?
Isaiah
I
Thomas.
think he was a guard, wasn't he?
Yep, he was a guard. You picked Larry Bird. He was a forward. You picked Carmelo Anthony. He was a forward. And You picked John Stockton. He was a guard. So you picked 3 guards and 2 forwards, no center. Any reason why you didn't pick a center?
Honestly, I forgot that part.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Yeah.
So when you selected your 5 players, did you take into consideration how the game of basketball has evolved over time? And if so, explain your reasoning.
Only a little bit. I played basketball in high school, so we played it the old way because think Michael Jordan, him and me, probably about the same age.
Right.
And I was trying to remember what they do now, again, from my limited knowledge of watching it lately. So
Okay. So you actually, I don't know. Well, if we were doing this with a group of men, we would probably have you would probably have started a huge argument. But actually, I think, for today's time, you actually might have picked a really competitive team because, now we have the 3-point shot, and actually now they're talking about creating a 4-point shot potentially. But so you picked 5 guys who are really good shooters. So actually, I think the team you picked would do very well today. I don't know how well they do, 40 or 50 years ago, but I think today they would do, fantastic. So Sam, thank you very much for volunteering.
yay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Geoffrey.
Sure. So while none of us are probably ever going to be the general manager of a National Basketball Association team, you all are the general managers of your business. To successfully launch and scale exponential business growth to get to your desired exit when and how you want to, you're going to need to assemble an A-team of co-founders, executive leaders, management staff, advisors, and your board of directors. If you don't approach this task with the highest level of unemotional discipline, you're going to make hiring decisions that derail your success and lead to business failure. And what would be the point of that? So before we get to questions and answers, I want to thank everyone for participating in Entrepreneur University Onlineable, whether you attended 1 session or all 6 sessions. I also want to take a few minutes to show you how what you've learned over the past 6 weeks can be implemented to transform your business. I introduced the concept of game theory in week 3, which teaches that winning in business is best accomplished by playing a different game than your competitors, not by playing a better game. Game theory also teaches you that business is an infinite game that never ceases. Your goal in business should be to start with an exit point in mind or to build toward an event in the future that will allow you to take money off the table to secure your future and create generational wealth for your family. And then you repeat the process again because your next success is easier to achieve than your last success. So let me show you how this works. Let's assume you do what we talked about in week 1, which is taking the time to figure out both what you're good at doing and what you'd enjoy doing 24/7, 365. Then you build a business around whatever this passion is. Now you envision the type of future exit event that allows you to extract capital from your success so you can secure your future. You identify what type of exit event you want to make happen, when you want it to happen, and how much annual revenues your company must achieve to ensure that you execute the exit event you've envisioned. Once you know where you want to get to, you can reverse engineer the growth you need to achieve annually to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Now you can focus on the steps needed to achieve the exponential growth that gets you to your exit when you want to get there. So first, you answer the 3 yes or no questions that I introduced in week 2 that help you identify and laser focus on the problems of an unserved or underserved niche target market that you can dominate. The name recognition you'll gain from being the dominant provider of your product or services to this target market will make it infinitely easier to expand outside of this target market when you decide the time is right to do so. Second, you'll form the unconventional strategic alliances with larger companies that I talked about in week 3. And this will allow you to transition from pushing your products and services onto customers like everyone else to pulling sales into your company through the pre-qualified leads you'll get from your strategic alliance partners. Third, by building family-like bonds with the customers your strategic alliance partners feed you, like I discussed in week 4, your customers will eventually buy everything you sell and refer you to everyone they know all the way through to your exit. Fourth, by reverse engineering a sale to learn the sales generating steps you need to monitor and measure, like I introduced in week 5, you'll consistently meet or exceed your sales goals. And finally, when you surround yourself with an A team of co-founders, executive leaders, managers, staff, mentors, and advisors, and board of directors like we talked about this week, you'll finally have all the essential ingredients to realize the vision you established in the beginning of this entrepreneurial journey. The only thing left to do is build towards your exit, and this could be any of the following. You could sell your business to an interested buyer who's not affiliated with your company. You could sell your business to your co-founders. You could sell your business to your executive leaders or managers. You could sell or pass the business down to a family member. You could sell your business to all the employees of the business. You could restructure existing financing under more favorable terms to improve profitability and free up cash. You could sell your company stock on a public stock exchange through an initial public offering, or you could shut down your business and sell all of its assets. Now, let's assume you sign a 1 to 2 year non-compete agreement with the buyer of your business. The buyer of your business knows you're the face of your business, and the business has a higher chance of succeeding under new ownership if you're still involved with the business. So the new buyer will most likely hire you as a full-time consultant to the business for the duration of the non-compete agreement. Once the non-compete agreement ends, the easiest thing for you to do would be to start another business just like the one you just sold, or rinse and repeat. Because of your previous success, you have a wealth of relationships with strategic alliance partners, customers, employees, mentors, and board members, all of whom shared in your success. Your entire network will gladly hop aboard your next successful train for as many times as you're willing to leave the station. And this is how the infinite game of business creates generational wealth for your family. So just in case you're wondering why I call my business Think Big with Geoffrey Kent, let me illustrate how to think big by asking you a question that was asked to me by a dear friend over a decade ago. What kind of world do you want to leave for your children and grandchildren? So when I think of this question, I think of the 9.3% or 736 million of the world's 8 billion person population that live in poverty. An interesting fact you may not know is that all net global job creation over the past 35 years has occurred because of jobs created by businesses less than 5 years old. And these are the small businesses that are predominantly unalignable. So what if we created a big, hairy, audacious goal of scaling all 8 million businesses unalignable so they could create the number of new jobs paying livable wages to eradicate global poverty? And what if we provided the entrepreneurs running these businesses with the training they needed to responsibly scale business growth until they reach 10 million in annual sales, thus putting each of these businesses in a position to be able to create 100 jobs in their local communities? 8 million businesses times 100 jobs each equals 800 million jobs. Guess what? We've just eradicated global poverty with 64 million jobs to spare. This is my vision for Entrepreneur University Unalignable. So just in case you were wondering what's next for Entrepreneur University, Alignable has approved Entrepreneur University as its own group. The goal of the group is to create a support community so everyone in the community can win. So please join the group, actively participate, and be very vocal about the resources you need to succeed in your entrepreneurial journeys. A link to join has been placed in the chat. So with the time left, I'd like to answer whatever question you have about what we learned participating in Entrepreneur University Unalignable over the past 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you, Geoffrey. The past 6 weeks have been amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And give me 1 second here, people, and I will call on you for Q&A. And let's see here. I just want to stop the recording and get to the right button.